Okay, this app is about the GS DSP Quantum Granulator. I'm going to use it and just kind of show you what it does. It is a live granulator. That's basically what its use case is for. You can freeze, I think, certain portions or cut certain portions. Um, I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about this app. I just don't. I just got it maybe a day ago. So it's on sale right now, I think for $9.99. So I would say if you really want it or you think you might want it, grab it now while it's on sale. All right, in order to show it to you, it is an effect. Okay, so you have to run it in the effects section, which means that you need something coming through that is producing sound. Now, you can use the radio, you can use a sample. I'll show you two different examples, one using an instrument and then one using a sample that I made. Okay, this first channel is my mic, so disregard it. This is Tati, which is going to be out soon. This is a beta version at the moment, but I'm just using it. If you want to try it, it is out on desktop. You can use it on desktop as a web base and try it that way. Some of the features may or may not be there that are here. This is just a simple beat I'm putting together. I actually need to do a fourth track and add in some hats, which I forgot to do. So we'll just pull that in, drop the gain down a little bit, maybe like right there. And then I like to use the randomize and just randomize and put some hats in there. Let's throw a few extras just to be safe. I'm going to go to the trigger, change the velocity. So we're going to randomize the velocities. That'll work. And now we're just going to press play. See what we got. All right, so there we go. I didn't put any groove on that, but that's okay. We are going to put some reverb on that. Not that strong reverb. I created my own little preset with the ambience. I like to just put it on and give it about 9%. Gives it a little air. So that's a beat going. Then we can go into the orbit in here. Let's pick a this is Apparella by Sugar Bites. It's really nice for like pads and different interesting textures. There's the orbit. I have to link this keyboard to it so we can use it. Can't say I like that one. Let's try some ambient. Not bad. That'll work. We're gonna lock in that by using the little hold feature there. Let's check the orbit and move it around. Okay. So currently, this is what it sounds like. Turn it down a little bit so you can hear me. So this is what it sounds like without anything on it. Now we're gonna bring it on. So before I do that, let's show you the presets in here. So this is the default preset. And you can see these are like little recorders. You see this recorder here and this recorder here. You can turn them both on and capture different parts of the audio. So if you want to record a little bit in here and then record a little bit in there, you can capture it. Or let it play live. You see how it's live recording through there? And you can record this one a little after it. But see, they're really pretty much recording the same input. And this one here allows you to clear the buffer. And the source allows you to adjust between the buffer. You can also set the pitch here for the live MIDI that's coming through if you wanted to. Then they have these LFOs down here, which you can look in here and see that they give you all these different options. And by the way, you can keep the question on if you wonder what they're doing. I'm gonna put this random on and randomize the oscillator portion. Now you can also randomize, like in this case, a gentle, where it just kind of slightly moves the randomization of stuff here. You can go nuts, adjusting it, or you could do this where it just randomize everything. And start building your own presets if you want to, so you can save and rename. Or pick a random preset, which is cool. And then there's some presets built in, which are actually really good. Let's use one of the presets built in. I love this detune space one. It's kind of nice. So you don't have to really know everything about it. And you can adjust the dry wet more of so you get a blend, which I think is amazing. This dry wet button is incredible. You have the rate and the length of the loop, everything. So the length has to do with, see this orange section? You can make it more narrow, wider. And you can also randomize each one of these too. Each one has its own little random dice beneath them if you just want to do them individually. But I like to just use this one up here. Or I'll use this if I just want a little bit of reason. It's so much fun, I ain't gonna lie to you. If for $10, this is a great buy. There's not a lot of plugins that let you do live granular that I can think of. In fact, the Torso S4, which I really want, does live granulating stuff. So for me, that's a win, because this is like getting a piece of that feature. Not in hardware, obviously, this is a app and a program, but it works great. If you just want to turn it off, there's a power button. You can turn it off over here. The effect, right? But it is an effect, so keep that in mind. It's just a live granularizing effect. There's an AB here, so you could have a totally different preset over here going to switch between. Let's try this one. So see how the LFOs data broth put together down here to make it do weird, glitchy kind of defragmented stuff. So you can go back to this one, which is more smooth and detuned, just kind of atmospheric. Very ambient for sure. Hence ambient. And put more of it. Or less. So it's a fun plugin. You can take samples and run it through. So let's do that. Let's replace this one with a file. And then we'll go in and I'll grab a sample real quick. Am I in the right place? Yeah, I am. There we go. I'm gonna grab a loop of some sort. And I'll put sync on so it syncs to that. And then we'll start over and see what we get. Okay, so this is like a loop, but it's a long loop. So it's already kind of ambient. So let's see what we could do maybe with glitch. It's very subtle. This particular preset. So let's try another preset. Something that's a little more scratching mess. Okay. So here's a 2D random LFO they got on here, which is doing some weird stuff. Now, if you ask me how do they map these, I have no clue. But I do know if you click on the plus, you can adjust it, and I believe it immediately affects it. But I don't know if this button here is the one that maps this or if it automatically maps. I haven't read the manual, so I would encourage you to read the manual, and I'm telling you up front, read the manual if you really want to get that intricate with it. I'm just introducing it to you. So there's a glitch. Let's try, what is resample? All right, here, let's try a different, let's replace, because I don't really care for this sample. We're gonna load it in a different sample. Well, I was hoping, yeah, let's go back to those loops. We'll sync it. Here we go. I'm gonna bring this back up because it's a little quieter compared to the other thing we're using. Interesting. Fast shifting reverser. Ooh. That's pretty cool. So if you go all wet, let's see. You only get the reverse sound. So you wanna, I like a little bit of the sample coming through and then incorporate. Nice blend. Maybe adjust it a little bit here. This little adjuster, I'm gonna call it little because it moves it slightly, can be just as good as doing something crazy like with this big one. The sample, I think, must have finished. Or it's just so quiet. Yeah, it's a smaller sample. I mean, you can do some pretty interesting stuff here. And every sample you use is gonna sound a little bit different. Let's try this one that's this one. It's like instant great. So I wanted to show you a little beat with it or something. I'm gonna turn this beat down a little bit. And this is just me using a loop. It ran out, so we're gonna start it over. I'm actually gonna put a little more reverb in this. Then what you could do is to get real intricate with it is maybe like other desert cities. This is a delay. I love the red means recording stuff. Throw something like that over it. Oh man. Gets real crazy and intricate. this other stuff. So what's cool is you could take Koala, right, and put Koala in and start recording these new sample things that you have into Koala. So let me show you how that would work. I'm gonna stop it for a second. We're gonna set these up on a mix bus. The only thing I'm not gonna set up on a mix bus is my voice, because you really don't need to hear me that much. And then we're gonna link them and receive them through here. So it's gonna send it out of here into here, and then you're gonna put Koala in here. So let's grab Koala. And then we're gonna take Koala and turn on this headphone, so that way it can receive the audio. So let's say you didn't want this beat going right now. That's fine, you just unplug it, so to speak. We'll start at the beginning, press record on a pad, and when you hit it, it's gonna record whatever's playing through it, right? And you can see the volume coming there. That's not from this, because the mic isn't on. So what you can do is start recording in yourself some samples. Let's say you chop up a sample loop or something that you like, then run it through the effect and record that new loop in and start creating your own unique loop by using the effects. Okay, that's probably good. So we'll stop that. So here's the effect here, or the loop. Adjust your endpoints, maybe like that, and crop it. And now you have a sample that you can loop and stretch it at 72 BPM, 16 bars. There you go. You want to make it louder, you could normalize it. Some people ask me this question, like, why wouldn't I just normalize? The problem is with normalize, it takes it to its maximum volume, and sometimes it can be really distorted. So what I will do is just grab and drop mix until I get to a point where I'm comfortable. See, that looks good. I don't want it to be so overbearing. Okay, so now you have, this is your sample. So you can throw this 16 bar, stretch it, throw the 16 into here. And this is how I do a lot of my tracks. I'm stretching samples, but now you have the granular aspect of it. So let's do, my hands are so fat I can barely, good Lord. Okay, so then you can just stretch it out the whole 16, and now you just build your drums over it. So here's some drums. I'm gonna take this portion out because I don't want it to bleed through. And now we're just gonna press play. And you can go in and work your drums some more. I'm just using this to build random button just to come up with some random beat. And if you really want to get crazy, you could start throwing in like other desert cities, move it up here. So it's throwing in that kind of textural sound beat. And then you can record however much you want. So we'll stop it, arm the track. We're just recording the drums. You're hearing this sample play while it's going, but we're just recording the drums. Now I'm going to let it go for 16, and you'll hear me talking for a little bit, just so that you don't have to do 8 bars and then stop it and do another 8 bars. And I've said this before, but anytime you're recording in drums like this and you want to get a perfect loop, after it gets to the 16th bar and it plays through, once it hits the 17th, stop it right at the beginning of the 17th bar. So you'll see if you follow up here the time, I'll stop it right now. Okay. And I know that the first one is set for me. If you just want to zoom in to see, it's set pretty good. So I'll go ahead and crop that. And I'll zoom in at the end and then take off that last little kick. So just test it. So I know this is the end right here. Okay, and then zoom back out. Another way to get this is drop this whole sample in a 16 bar to automatically cut the end off, but I'm not going to do all that. There you go. So now I have 16. But I just put the stretch on just because I do it, but there you go. And then now you have a 16 bar drum break. And as soon as my fingers decide they want to act right, we can get this done. There we go. Catch the end of that. Now you have your drums. And it's got the effect already built on. If you don't like the volume and you want it to be louder, there's 2 ways to do that. Of course, you can normalize it. You can do it the way I like to do it, which is this. Drop it over. That's pretty loud. I'm going to keep that. I'm comfortable with it. Now you have. And you can make your stuff louder if you want. It's up to you. So there you go. And this is the plugin that we're talking about. I think it's a great plugin. Grab it while it's $9.99. I think it's like on sale too on desktop for $34, $35. So I think I wanted to try it on, because there's no demo version, I wanted to try it on iOS first because it works on the iPhone and on the iPad, which is amazing. And I was unsure if I would like it or not, but after 2 days of having it, well, this is really going on the second day, I can truly attest that it's a great plugin. It's fun, it's creative, it can change your loops and help you to come up with new ideas. It gives a little texture, a little character to everything you have. I think it's a win. All right. That's just my opinion. Just want to introduce you to it. Introducing does not mean I know everything. And wow, this thing decided to start over on its own. All right. So enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.